Let's talk about dealing with your fear of failure in this video. How's it going, Reinventors? I'm Amelia Sims. This is Reinventing You, the channel where you can be inspired to take your own reinventing journey so that you can live a life of joy, fulfillment, and purpose. If you're new here, welcome. I'm glad you're here. Please don't forget to subscribe, and also know that I post twice a week. I want to inspire you to take your own journey of reinventing yourself so that you can live a life of joy, fulfillment, and purpose. This is a video series right now on reinventing yourself. Today's topic is the fear of failure. Right now I am filming from the lake. That is the house where we eventually will retire in another year. Adichophobia. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. It's the fear of failure. Basically, what it means is a lot of times when you are trying to reinvent yourself, you don't do it because you're afraid that you will fail. However, the fear of failure is learned. And think about it this way. And I did not come up with this example. Somebody else, I've done so much research, I can't remember who did this, but I just want to say this is not my example. But I love this thought. When you learned to walk, were you afraid? And maybe you were. You probably don't remember. But did that mean that you stopped learning how to walk? If you were crawling around and you started pulling yourself on the furniture and then kept falling down on your behind, did you cry and give up and now you're still crawling around? No, you kept going. Even though you fell down a couple of times or you hurt yourself or whatever, you continue to try to walk because you wanted to accomplish that goal. And that is a lot of times what happens. We have taught ourselves to fear. And in order to reinvent ourselves, we have got to get over it. I found this quote on the internet and I realized I didn't really write down who said it, but I think it was Patrik Edblad said this: measure your success not by your ability to avoid mistakes, but by your ability to show up and do the work no matter what. Don't measure your success by your mistakes, but your ability to show up and do the work no matter what. I love that. And it describes how we as reinventors need to handle our fear of failure. Stop saying, oh, I failed, or oh, I've made mistakes, or oh, I've done all these things wrong, and cause that to prevent us from doing what we need to do to reinvent ourselves. My example of that would be this channel. Now, maybe some people would say, well, you're not a failure on this channel, but let me tell you, I'm in this group, YouTube for Bosses, and I get these notices on Facebook all the time. People have, I have made 600 subscribers, I've had 4,000 watch hours, I have 1,000 subscribers, all this kind of stuff. And all these people are like, oh, I've been doing this for 6 months. I've been doing this for over 2 years, and I haven't yet reached 300 subscribers. So should I say I am a failure? Should I say, well, I haven't reached those goals, but eventually I'll get there and I'm going to keep going despite. That's my take on it. I'm looking and saying, okay, where can I improve? What are the things that I can do to increase my subscribers? What are the things that I can do to increase my watch hours? What are the things that I can do to make my videos better, to inspire others so that they go out and reinvent themselves? You have to change your look of what makes a success. Sure, it'd be great to have 1,000 subscribers, but I want to have 1,000 good subscribers, and I want you to be one of them. I want this channel to really inspire people. And if I had just shot up and had these great numbers, that would not have happened, because there are things that I need to learn how to do. There are mistakes that I need to make in order to make this the best channel, in order to inspire others. So yeah, I could say, oh, I'm a failure, I haven't reached 1,000 subscribers, or I can say, I have learned so much, and it's true, I have learned so much doing this channel. When I was doing the research for this video, I realized I had not really tackled fear of failure. I talked about fear and courage and those kinds of things, but maybe not address the exact fear of failure. And in my research, I did realize there are two ways to handle fear of failure: internal and external. And external is very easy to find on the internet. You can pretty much Google fear of failure and it will give you all kinds of things to do that are external to help you overcome your fear of failure, but maybe less internal. Now, maybe that doesn't make sense, but anyway, I'm sitting here thinking, have I got this confused with the confidence video? But let me explain for just a moment. I have some notes written here and I'm just going to follow those. Some of the external concerns that I read about were simply letting go of others' good opinions of yourself. And we tend to live our lives depending on other people's good opinions. But the sad and real, it's not sad, it's the real life aspect is you will never have everyone's good opinion. You will never do it. It won't happen. So stop trying to do that. That's the external. Everybody's good opinion of ourselves. And what happens is our fear of failure becomes mixed in with trying to get everybody's good opinions. If I don't have everybody's good opinions, if people don't like me, if they don't like what I'm doing, then have failed. I've got to find out ways to get other people's good opinions. I mean, that is so harsh because we all want to be thought of well, but if you live your life well, if you live your life authentically, it will be so much better than an opinion poll and making sure people like you. You know, that's a politician's job. That isn't your job. Your fear of failure is going to continue to keep you back because you're so worried about that external opinion of other people. When it comes to the internal, I got information from several sources, including Julia Christina Counseling. She was a big one, and some others. And what the external is based on what other people think of you. The internal is what you think of yourself. And so you need to change how you think of yourself. So what can you do to change your mindset? One of the things that you can do is to see your failure differently. And I see these things, these failures, as lessons learned. How can you come out of this and say, okay, these are the things that I learned in this process. These are the things I know I don't want to do again. You have to remember that failure is not the end of the world. It is not, something you can't recover from. It doesn't measure how inadequate or adequate we are. You have got to instead say, okay, this is what I'm going to learn. Also, when you were talking about fear of failure, where does this come from? And this is where, if you are in counseling or even coaching, is to talk about, because this really can help you to know where your fears of failure come from, especially your immediate family. How has your past influenced how you feel about success and failure? And really just delve into that. Where do these feelings come from? How can I get beyond that? And I've said this before in other videos, it is so helpful to have set goals and to visualize what that's going to look like when you reach those goals, so that instead of focusing on what could go wrong, you're focusing on what can go right. You're visualizing in your head what that looks like. It's not just words on paper, but it's an actually movie going on, and you can just taste how that success is going to be. Another way to change your mind and stop internalizing this fear of failure is to think positively instead of negatively. Think of the things that you are doing right. Be grateful, be appreciative, be thinking of what is good. Have a contingency plan. If something goes wrong, what am I going to do? What is my plan? And I had a video, and I'll post it up here, about being adaptable. And in the video, I talked about having those plans and how good they are. Same thing here on this channel. One of the things that somebody advised to do is to have a plan on how to handle negative comments. And so that's what I do. I have a document that I have saved, and it has, what to say if this or this or this is said. And I've used it a couple times. I've adapted it. Now, all of this being said, there are times when your fear of failure can be very debilitating. When your fear of failure can be debilitating, I mean completely, you cannot move. It helps. So I highly recommend finding a mental health professional to help you if that is the case. So that is really important. Now, don't just go out and get anybody. Make sure the person that you're using is accredited. Find professional help if you find your fear of failure is just preventing you from doing anything. I hope this video has been helpful for you in terms of your tackling your fear of failure. If you work through your fears, if you get over your fear of failure, you have reinvented yourself in that one area, and you are success. Celebrate it. I know you will. Please share this video with people who are dealing with a fear of failure. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment below. Have a great one.